I always tell this to, life insurance agents that we're training is that nobody really thinks they're going to die. I mean, they know they're going to die, but they don't really think about it day in and day out until maybe they have stage 4 cancer or something. Like they just don't think about it, right? So a lot of insurance agents will be like, well, if something happens to you, and I'm like, there's no if, it's just when something happens to you. So, just little changes like, hey, when something happens to you, like who's going to actually pay for the mortgage? Not if. There's no if, it's just when with death. That's kind of certain. Most salespeople I find in the insurance industry like go through the motions. It's like they're reading this script and they sound like a telemarketer and there's zero emotional connection. And then they wonder why the prospect says, I want to think about it at the end. There's no emotional connection. They'll be like, well, what's caused you to even look at getting a policy now? Well, I had, my brother died 3 months ago. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Let me ask you. And it's like, they just ignore that. It's like, oh, what actually happened? My gosh, he must have been young. You sound so young, and just like going into it, like emotionally connecting. And most agents haven't learned how to do that yet. Just I said yet. Those are learnable skills.
They are definitely learnable. And I love those word tracks, right? Because I think whenever we can get a client to open up about why they're looking for possibly getting life insurance, it's always a win-win scenario if you just let them talk and play it out. Because if there was a death or an illness, it's either they did have coverage, and man, what a blessing that was, or they didn't have coverage, and what a burden that was. And either way, it just builds emotion on, hey, this is why we're talking today, and kind of running through that, right? So,
well, the like I always say, the two biggest emotional drivers that cause a human being to want to change are pain of their current situation and their past history. So even that case where they said, hey, I'm looking because my brother passed away last year. Well, I need to like dive deeper into that pain of their past history of when the brother passed away and left their family without financial protection. Like that's the pain of their past history that they might have had to help that family, right? And then I need to paint and get them to visualize and feel a fear of future pain that when they pass away, their family's not going to have that financial protection unless they actually change and purchase what you're offering. So pain and the fear of future pain. Pleasure is always a distant third.
walk me through how you got so good at tonality, right? So listen, tonality at the beginning of our scripts is always really important, right? We want to come off disarming. We want to match the client's level wherever they're at, right? And we want to also try to bring them down if they're too high at times. We don't want to come off too salesy. We don't want to come off too excited.
You don't come salesy at all.
Yeah.
You don't want to come off too boring.
Yeah,
You don't want to come off, there's a middle there.
Yeah, you got it, man. Like your tonality, like how did you, like that, you got it down.
I learned it from an acting coach in Hollywood, going into my almost my third year in sales. So you all know, you read a book that says 93% of your communication is your nonverbal, 7% your words. Every sales book has written that. And that study's kind of it's not accurate. It's back in the 40s. It's about 30% are your words that you use. So, but 70% is your nonverbal. That means your tonality and your body language affect the sale. So you can say the same words, but in a different tone, and get a completely different reaction from another human being. Do they let their guard down? Are they disarmed? Or are they triggered and their guard goes up? And I could literally say the same thing, because I always say your tone is how they interpret your intention behind everything you say and ask. So I actually hired a very, you've heard of his name's Larry Moss, but you've heard of like Leonardo DiCaprio, Jim Carrey, Helen Hunt. Some of the best have been trained by him. And it was pricey back in the day. It was a lot of money for me, but I knew that it would take me to the next level. So it was like a 6-month course. I renewed a couple of times. So about 1.5 years of full training. And I went through a lot of obviously other tonality courses and things over the years of my sales career to really master it. I wouldn't say I've mastered it. I'm still mastering it. I'm always a student.
So I had my staff reach out to your team. Right,
okay.
And put together a pilot program. And it's obviously why we're here, right? Our pilot was super successful. And man, I could tell you the one thing that resonated with me the most, besides obviously increased contact rate, increased obviously just close rate in general, higher annual premium per sale, but it was the posture, man. That word resonated with me more than anything when we did our exit interviews after the pilot was done.
Yeah.
And it was incredible because man, I just felt like they were just that much more comfortable and confident guiding the client, guiding the sale, and connecting, man.
Yeah, sure. I call that collective confidence, but it's certainty in their voice because when you know exactly what to say, when you know exactly why you're saying it, when you know exactly what to ask and why you're asking and how to shift your tone, all that breeds is confidence, right? Because you're selling way more. You can't have confidence if you're not selling that much because your skill level is low. Like you can listen to, Rocky Six as much as you want, or get motivated by your music. But at the end of the day, confidence comes from your skill level because when you have a high skill level, you perform well and you get really good results. I mean, you make a lot of sales. So yeah, I mean, I know your team is about to start into our training programs here in a few weeks and stuff. So I mean, they just went through the basic pilot program. So, that'll be the training is actually like, 100x compared to the pilot program.
Yeah.
That's like basic stuff.